Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome on behalf of Wilmington College in Southwest Ohio of the United States. Welcome to the 30th annual Westheimer Peace Symposium, focusing on peace and the nature of war through a special two-day symposium entitled The Nuclear Threat, Past, Present, Future, in commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan by the United States. This year's symposium is a special collaboration with the Wilmington College Peace Resource Center. I'm going to start this script one more time here. I'm so sorry. Just a second here. We're getting us going here. Okay, so let's start this again. On behalf of Wilmington College in Southwest Ohio of the United States, welcome to the 30th annual Westheimer Peace Symposium, focusing on peace and the nature of war through a special two-day symposium entitled The Nuclear Threat, Past, Present, Future, in commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan by the United States. Amidst the uncertainty of a global pandemic, we gather virtually for the first time to ensure the safety of those in our community, as well as our speakers and presenters. My name is Tanya Maus. I am the director of the Wilmington College Peace Resource Center and the coordinator for the Westheimer Peace Symposium. Before we turn to Tina Cordova's important talk, I would like to provide some opening comments regarding this year's symposium. This is the 30th year of the Westheimer Peace Symposium. It was founded by Charles and May Westheimer in 1991. Charles had served as a board of trustee of Wilmington College, and he and May were drawn to its Quaker mission devoted to the peace testimony and social justice. As you will see in the following comments from Charles and May's daughter, Mary, the family has always been passionate about issues of peace and service. We will now play a special opening message from Mary for this 30th anniversary event.
First, my sincere thanks to the symposium's excellent organizer, Tanya Maus, Wilmington College staff, presenters, attendees, and everyone involved with the 30th annual Westheimer Peace Symposium for this opportunity to contribute to this important event. It is truly an honor to acknowledge Wilmington College's celebration of its core values of peace and social justice, and the support of those core values by my parents, May and Charles Westheimer. My parents' dedication to peace may have had something to do with having had 5 kids. But seriously, it did start a lot earlier than that. My mother attended a Quaker camp when she was a little girl, and it had a lifelong influence on her. She supported many organizations financially and personally, including the American Friends Service Committee, with a special interest toward helping those who were disrupted by war in Nicaragua and El Salvador. Among her many other volunteer contributions, May Westheimer was a lifelong volunteer at the International Visitor Center, which introduced her children to the diversity and deep values of all peoples and all experiences. As in all of her actions, my mother was passionate about peace and the importance of community. My father was similarly passionate about serving in his own quiet way. He served on the board at Wilmington College, which was just one of his many ways of contributing to peace, social justice, and his community. Other involvement included the 12-year initiative, The Program, which celebrated the influence of the Ohio River on Cincinnati, which was both of my parents' lifetime homes. There was also his work for the salvation and restoration of Union Terminal, his commitment to Cincinnati Public Schools, where he served on the board, and the Hamilton County Public Library, where my mother also volunteered for many years. I also remember my dad beside the fax machine. You remember fax machines? Sending messages to his members of Congress, in fact, every member of Congress, trying to bring peace during the Vietnam War. Obviously, my parents believed in acting to support their beliefs, a value they've passed down to their children, as well as hundreds of other people who've worked for change in their communities. Perhaps nowhere is this better evidenced by the very existence of the Westheimer Peace Symposium, which this year responds to a clarion call for peace, echoed by a memory from my childhood. One night at the dinner table, the site of many visits from people around the world and many a spirited discussion, as well as the occasional water fight, always started by my dad, my father announced, "I used to support nuclear power, but I didn't know that nuclear waste is used to make bombs. I don't support it anymore. My parents were always learning and always devoted to peace." 75 years ago, on August 6th, the United States dropped the first atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. An estimated 70,000 people were killed instantly. Another 40,000 were added to that sobering toll when the U.S. dropped a second bomb on Nagasaki. Hundreds of thousands of lives were affected. Even of those who survived, many endured lifetimes of suffering. Like my parents, I continue to hope that such future tragedies can be prevented. This symposium, its presenters, and their work provide a strong foundation of that hope. Therefore, thanks again to Wilmington College, the presenters, the organizers, and the Westheimer Peace Symposium for providing an opportunity to envision a move toward peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those comments. The symposium this year is also a special collaboration with the Wilmington College Peace Resource Center, which holds an extensive collection of archival materials related to the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the human experience of nuclear war. It is also held in collaboration with the Response Project, funded by an Ohio Arts Council grant, in which 7 artists across the United States have created original compositions for the symposium in response to archival materials from the Peace Resource Center archives. For a full schedule of today's and tomorrow's lectures and performances, please go to wilmington.edu/Westheimer. That's wilmington.edu/Westheimer. In particular, please join us tonight for the keynote here on Facebook Live with Susie Snyder, coordinator of Don't Bank on the Bomb, who will be speaking with the talk, Don't Bank on the Bomb, How Small Steps Lead to Lasting Change. Over the course of the next 2 days, you will have the opportunity to relate to the lived experiences of nuclear war vis-a-vis those who are in Hiroshima and Nagasaki at the time the United States detonated nuclear weapons on those 2 cities. You will be able to relate those experiences to very present concerns regarding nuclear weapons of mass destruction and the fate of humanity caught between large state global conflicts that could lead to their utilization. Speakers will add layers to this experience of nuclear war by providing us with important knowledge and insights into the biological, physiological, emotional, and psychological harms of nuclear weapons and the nuclear power upon our bodies and our environment, as well as the role of nuclear weapons and nuclear power in climate change. Through the work of 7 artists participating in the Response Project, you will be able to add a phenomenological awareness to this knowledge through the senses of sound, textured and visually rich imagery, the rhythms of poetry, and a new way of conceptualizing our relationship to the past. For those of you on the Wilmington College campus or nearby in the city of Wilmington or local communities, please note that there is a quiet, socially distanced viewing room at the T. Canby Jones Meeting House in the Quaker Heritage Center in the Boyd Cultural Arts Center on campus. To those on the Wilmington College campus, I also invite you to visit the T. Canby Jones Meeting House to view artist and art faculty member Hal Shunk's painting on display there. As a Response Project piece, Hal's painful and piercing work compels us to reflect upon the desperate need for water faced by atomic bombing sufferers in the aftermath of the atomic bombs. And it tells us also of their hopes of a different future through the cleansing and purity of the planet's water. In addition, for those on our campus, Ellen O'Hara Slavic's large banner, Hiroshima Leaves, installed on the exterior wall of the T. Canby Jones Meeting House, shows us the fragility of nature amidst human destructive forces and asks us to re-examine our need for violence as a means to resolve conflict. Before I turn to our speaker, I would like to extend our thanks to the many individuals who made this symposium possible. We are a very small college with about 1,000 students, and each faculty and staff member and student who contribute to bringing this symposium about took on something extra well and beyond their already extensive duties of teaching and service at the college. First, I would like to thank the Westheimer Committee, which consists of 5 faculty and staff and 8 students. A year in advance, we begin to plan our symposium, and we meet throughout the year, going over every detail. I would like to thank them for their time and their efforts. Thank you also to all the faculty and staff who support the symposium in various and often unseen ways and encourage their students to embrace and reflect upon our Quaker campus core values of peace, nonviolence, social justice, integrity, respect for all persons. Your work is never done, and the Westheimer Committee thanks you. We appreciate you. Thank you to Interim President Erica Goodwin and her staff for their ongoing support of the symposium and for her comments this evening. A special thank you, of course, to the Westheimer family and Mary and Bill Westheimer, who provided and will provide comments for this year's symposium. We're so fortunate to have this opportunity to celebrate and strive toward peace by gaining awareness and knowledge each year at the Westheimer Peace Symposium. Thank you to the PRC, QHC student staff for their constant support and willingness to help with all matter of things Westheimer related. And last but not at all least, a huge thank you to our technological support team, Ashley Wellman, Mitch Blankspor, Brianna Matsky, Hannah Fugate, George Domitic, and the IT staff. All of your work and time have been very noticed and appreciated. Now we'll take a brief pause before I introduce our speaker shortly before 10:20 a.m.